What's up, guys? Hey, how are we doing? So, I'm back. My voice is a lot better than it was the other day, but I'm feeling a heck of a lot better. But we got Southwick this weekend. Garrett Marchbanks of the Club MX team is making his return. Remember, he got smashed in that flagger incident on press day at Paula. He'll finally be back. So I've been taking a lot of heat about talking about Deegan, slow at the Southwick test, 6 seconds a lap slower than Ansty. I'm going to expand on that and tell you guys why it's actually not that big of an issue. Now, Jett has had 2 weeks to recover. He's got those injuries. Why this is the time when they need to jump on him. And I think I might have an idea for racers as far as how to get compensation and the one route they could take that's not a union and some other stuff. But I'll get into all that and more. Remember, guys, subscribe. And yes, sometimes people get unsubscribed without them doing it. But if you do subscribe, I appreciate it. And if you are, just double check. Thanks, guys.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
And I do have a new show sponsor. It's Lightning Rod Energy. They help out the HBI, Kawasaki riders, Grant Harlan. It's a new energy shot. This is not like a Red Bull or Monster or any of those things. It's a kind of almost like a vitamin shot, like a 5-hour energy without some of the garbage that they put into 5-hour energy. I would call it a cleaner version of that. But I'm going to have those guys on and we'll do a show at some point and they can explain to you scientifically why it's much better. I've used it. It's awesome. I had energy literally all day long, and use the code Cooksy if you want to give it a try. Free shipping. Check out the Coach Rob podcast. If you're an amateur racer and you're navigating amateur racing, head over there. Coach Derek Harris, they had Andrew Short on this month. They will tell you a lot of the pitfalls and help you avoid that. Epic Garage Designs. Guys, we're hitting to the end of June. The 2-car garage Father's Day special is all June. $2,100 shipped. 19 if you want to do the solids, and they will adjust it if you need to have a bigger garage or whatever, but just call Travis and they will get you dialed in. So I shared some insight that I got about the test that Star Yamaha did at Southwick last week. Word I had from somebody who was there is that Max Ansty, who is a sand specialist from the GPs, was 6 seconds a lap faster than Hayden. While that's a lot, that's not unreasonable. And then I hear people saying, oh, well, did you watch the video? Brian wore his gear. Listen, Brian Deegan's fast, but to be 6 seconds off of Max Ansty, that would put him inside the top 20 at a national. Brian Deegan in his prime was getting 10th. I think his best finish at a national was like 7th. Great rider, but 6 seconds is really not that much on a track like Southwick. And for him to be 6 seconds off Max Ansty in one lap, that's not a big deal. He can make that up. The things that Hayden has are grit, determination, cardio. Just because somebody's 6 seconds on one lap doesn't mean they're actually going to beat him in a race. I still expect Hayden Deegan. I think Hayden might even win this race. You never know how it goes. And like I said, he's got that dog. And the fact that they knew he was going to be slow at this track and they have someone like Max Ansty to kind of be there for the test and show him what's possible, that's going to help him tremendously. I don't look for Deegan to be off the podium. And if he gains points on Tom Vial at this race, it's pretty much over. Like I said, it is no longer anyone's series except for Hayden Deegan's, and it would take a catastrophic mistake for him to lose the championship. I'll tell you a sleeper to watch this weekend, though. Joe Schmoda. Don't forget, last year, he got the second moto win. He really started that end of the season run at Southwick when he got that moto win. He looked a lot better at High Point. Like he's kind of finding his legs. He had a week off. And we all know how it goes when they have a week off. They find something in the bike. When in reality, it might just be mentally recharged or, maybe they did find some settings that make him a little more comfortable. He is a 12-1 underdog to win Southwick. Now, while I don't think he's going to win, you're giving me 12-1? I think he's more like a 5-1. So I'm putting $10 on Joe Schmoda. Hopefully I can win big. And that's a bigger bet than I normally do because I got Joe Schmoda at 12-1. Remember, if you want to bet, just use the link in the description. Restrictions do apply. Another guy I'm watching closely is Levi Kitchen. He looked fatigued to me. After that Supercross series, you go right into outdoors, and it just seemed to wear on him, and he looked like a guy who was just kind of beaten down. Can he recover in 2 weeks? I don't know. But I know he does ride pretty good in the East Coast tracks, that sand. This week's going to tell a lot. If he's up there battling and staying strong till the end, we'll know he recovered. If not, it's going to be a long year. How will Ty Masterpool recover? Like, he had that enormous win. I mean, that was big for him, his career, his family. That's an emotional dump. And the good thing about this for Time Masterpool is he's got 2 weeks to process it, which I think is just enough time to kind of keep that confidence, but also not have an emotional letdown. And I expect him to be very strong in Southwick. And I think he's going to be battling for podiums the rest of this year. Bad news for Club MX. Cody Schock has broken his arm, and Cody Schock has had flashes of brilliance and lots of injuries, and that's been the MO in his career. I don't know how you fix that, but I really hope that he heals up fast, and I expect big things from him and Club MX next year. Good news for Club MX is they're getting Garrett Marchbanks back, but I'll talk about that more in just a second. Hey guys, ditch your X brand goggles. Go with a company that doesn't sue your local track, and that's Ridestrapped. Ridestrapped is a great company. Good products, great customer service. They're just good people. So head over to Ridestrapped and get yourself some new goggles. If you're shipping anything using a truck, use Precision Transport. Hit up pretransport.com, a family-owned company that puts a lot of pride in customer service. So this weekend is very telling for Jett Lawrence, and I'll tell you why. Not because he hasn't been good, he's won, he's done all those things, but when you have these lingering injuries like he has, what happens is now the injuries are probably healed, but how much training was he able to do while he was healing up? Sometimes that base cardio can fall off, especially when you're trying to do it within 2 weeks mid-season. I don't know if that's the case or not, but his competitors need to jump on him right now. If they don't go after him and put the pressure and test that cardio early, if he wins 1-1 at Southwick, I don't know, I guess he's winning the rest of them. I don't know what else to say. But his brother is typically really good at Southwick, and Jett has had issues from time to time at Southwick, so they have got to jump on him. This is probably the last chance this season that Hunter has at legitimately beating his brother straight up. After that, he's going to have to wait for a mistake. I have no idea what to expect from Chase Sexton. This is the first time at this track with this team. What I can probably say is he's going to ride his ass off, he's going to be really fast, and he's probably going to do something spectacular, but I don't know if he's going to win. That's about all I can tell you about Chase Sexton. One of my favorite guys is Garrett Marchbanks. Now, Garrett Marchbanks is leaving the Club MX team for the Pro Circuit Kawasaki team next year. I don't know how I feel about that move, but I understand Garrett's got to do what's best for what he thinks is best for his career. He thinks getting on that bike can take him from where he's at to a championship contender and a consistent race winner. It might. With that said, he has had a great relationship with the Club MX team. They've really kind of helped him through his career. They've been really good to him, and he is very appreciative of them. And that was one of the reasons why it made it so hard for him to go to Pro Circuit, even though a lot of people close to him said, dude, you have to take it. What are you talking about? He did seriously consider not going because he does have such a high regard for the Club MX team. And a lot of times when guys sign with another team, they'll kind of mail it in for the one they're riding for. Don't expect that from Marchbanks. I look for him to go out there on that 450. I don't know, that class is pretty deep right now. Right now I have him at best 5th place, at worst 12th place. So somewhere in that range, and he will get better. The guy rides a 450 like a boss. I mean, I think he should just be a 450 guy all the time. He doesn't agree, and neither does Pro Circuit. So that's why he's doing what he's doing. But the big issue during this off week has been, Glen Helen and why they don't have a national. And a lot of people are pointing at me saying, dude, you're stirring the crap. No, I'm not. I was literally just telling, Coombs went out there on his high horse and started telling everybody, that it's all Bud Feldkamp. Bud's this horrible person. Bud's this, Bud's that. That's not the case. While Bud might be difficult to work with, and I'm not going to make that argument, he might be. The thing is this is a monopoly. I don't care how you spin it. Supercross and motocross combined is a monopoly. The UFC fighters just won a lot of former fighters just won a big lawsuit against the UFC for antitrust violations. Or I shouldn't say they won, they got a settlement. Antitrust is there for a reason. It's so people can't do the exact things that MX Sports is doing. And Feld, they've got a monopoly on this. Now, I'm not an antitrust lawyer, but seeing how effective it was for these fighters against the UFC, that might be the direction to go after if any of these guys want to do this. If I was a good antitrust lawyer, I would be taking a hard look at this, and in particular, how MX Sports got the exclusive rights to the Outdoor Nationals. That is, I'm pretty sure there were some violations with that and the way that they took over with the AMA. If those guys want to actually get something done, we'll never have a union or an association. Guys, it's a selfish sport where guys have a small window and nobody's going to step in front of it and be the one that says, oh yeah, I'm going to take this on. Nobody will sacrifice their opportunities, and you do get blackballed in this industry. With that said, Maybe we can get some older guys to go after an antitrust type lawsuit where the guys going right now don't have to step in, but it will make some changes. So that would be my suggestion with the motocross community and these former racers. Take a look at some antitrust. Maybe reach out to an antitrust lawyer. And I'm anti-lawsuit, but those laws are in there for a reason, so people can't do the unscrupulous things that have been done. And an old friend of mine, Johnny Hopper, he's all for capitalism, but he needs to rethink and take a look at what monopolies do. And there's a reason that those antitrust laws were put in there, because companies get too much control and they run wild, and there's no way to there's no way to have competition. So while I'm all for capitalism, democracy, and getting paid when you do well with your business, there's a reason for antitrust stuff. So that's the reason, that's the angle that I would go. Anyway, guys, thanks for everything, and I will catch you later.